What a great group call, guys. Oh my gosh. Success of the method and how you'll eventually be able to get the woman of your dreams, have the success, have the confidence of your dreams. Try to reframe it instead of thinking, hey, I get that stuff and it's gonna be so great for me. Try to think of it, I will be able to carry out God's will better once I get that stuff. What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Welcome to your first group call, Charlie.
How we doing?
Good, bro, good. You still at Mom and Pa's? What's up, Angel? What's up, Eric? Hey, my brother, Cam.
What's up, boys?
What's up, brother?
What's
Hey, Floor is here too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here.
Recording in progress.
I sent a request, Mike. Beautiful. All right, with that being said, let's get into it, guys. So this weekend, I haven't really talked to you guys since my bodybuilding win, but definitely had a very flesh versus spirit experience during that time. I mean, the entirety of bodybuilding prep, you're essentially fighting your flesh, your fleshly desires for comfort, for, getting off plan, etc. And then right before the competition, my emotions really hit me. I was driving on the way to get my tan. And another aspect of the flesh versus spirit was that, like, I had been very focused on my fleshly desires, including my pride, my own glory, my own selfish desires when I started this competition about 9 months back with the goal of like proving what was possible on a plant-based diet, because what had held me back when Mike first showed me the diet was the idea that I needed it to be strong. And so I figured if there's one difference I can make is just to dispel that lie, right? Which there's no better way to do it than to win a bodybuilding competition. But 9 months later, I had slowly but surely forgot about that, especially losing my first one and then wanting the pride and the revenge of winning the second one. And on the way there, God reminded me why I started the competition, and just hit me with a wave of emotion, a lot of emotion, a lot of crying, and reminded me why I was doing this in the first place. And then that really just shifted, and I kept that in my forefront mind. And because of that, he blessed me with the win, and has also been blessing me thereafter with just some social media success, just feeling really great, and making sure to keep my spirit at the forefront instead of my fleshly desires has been essential over these past couple weeks and just my entire life. And so that's why I want to use this time to talk about that. So as you can see, when I talk about flesh versus spirit, right, we are talking about the fleshly desires, right, which I'll break down in a second, versus the spiritual desires, right? I kind of like to see it as, our flesh is our body and our ego, right? Our body and our selfishness, right? And versus the spirit is kind of that source inside of us, that spark that, if you ever have a friend you're really close to or a partner, that feeling of kind of like connection to another person, you're not connected to that person's flesh or their ego. There's something closer, like you feel that sense of love between you and another person, and that's our spirit, right? That's our internal sense of fulfillment, what we get from helping other people or feeling close to God, right? That's really who we are at our core when you strip away our name, our flesh, and our selfish desires. So here's the thing, guys, the predicament in 2026 and all the way back from when we ate the apple, is that we live in a material world driven by material desires, but we are spiritual beings starving for something deeper, starving for spiritual fulfillment, right? Now I use this verse, 1 John 5:19. We know that we are children of God and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one, right? Now everyone may have different views of this or perspectives of this, but basically what that's saying is that we know that we have the spirit within us that gets fulfilled when we help other people, that when we're on our path, when we're serving our purpose, right? But we're also aware that when we follow our desires to, go binge in the fridge at night or hang out with the wrong crowd or just do anything negative towards another person, right? We feel that sense of grossness. But we have the desire to go do drugs and eat like shit and chase comfort and be lazy, right? And be ignorant even sometimes, because the truth can hurt. And so with this knowledge, we can then move forward and start to fulfill these spiritual desires, right? Or fulfillment, even though we have these material desires. So what does the flesh want and the spirit want, right? So the flesh wants, in summary, remember the flesh is our bodies and our selfish ego, is comfort, entertainment, indulgence, validation, and pleasure, right? Break each one of these down real quick. So comfort, we've evolved. Our flesh has literally evolved to want comfort, right? We survived if we had comfort, if we had shelter, if we had the food we need, if we had warmth. Our flesh survived, right? And so we've carried that with us to 2026, where if you have watched my dopamine video, that's very maladaptive for our fulfillment nowadays, right? Entertainment, we like to be distracted, right? A lot of times facing what's going on internally can be uncomfortable. A lot of times, maybe even meditation, when you first start it, it's extremely uncomfortable because we're so used to distracting ourselves with entertainment, right? Next is indulgence, right? Whether this is drugs, food, pornography, right? When we want to indulge in these things, right? Like baseline, if we said, hey, tomorrow I could watch as much pornography as I want and eat all the junk food, and tomorrow I would wake up and feel amazing, we would all do it, right? Because our flesh wants it. It feels good. But it's not what the spirit needs, right? Next is validation. And this is a big one, guys. This is a huge one. Huge struggle for me, especially in the past, right? We are our selfish egos. We want other people to validate them. We want people to say, I Joey, am good. I Flores, or I Charlie, I'm good, right? Me. It's about me. We want that validation. It's very comforting to our flesh and our ego. But at the end of the day, it's really not what our spirit needs. I mean, you could look at Jesus' sense, if Jesus got all the likes on social media or everyone was, saying how cool he was, that probably wouldn't be super amazing to him, right? Because his spirit is already where it needs to be, right? The validation isn't necessarily what his soul needs or wants, because he's already internally validated and focused on higher things, right? So that's as we go, we try to need less and less external validation. Last is pleasure. This goes right into indulgence, right? And comfort. We just want pleasure. We want the instant gratification, but we know it doesn't lead to fulfillment. So spiritual needs, right? These are all huge. Number one, purpose, right? We have given, our spirit feels the need to have purpose in this world, to feel like there's a reason we're here, to feel like we are helping other souls in some shape or form, right? Whenever we feel like we have a purpose and we are fulfilling it, there's a distinct feeling of feeling good. And this doesn't have to be like me or Mike, doing coaching. I know a lot of you guys have that goal, which is great. But I mean, think about like, if you've helped a friend or paid for their lunch, or, helped your mom with chores and she was super grateful, right? That's a small version of purpose. You served a purpose there, and it feels great to do that, right? Next is love, right? And this is not just lust, this is love. When we feel love towards another person, right, we actually care about their well-being and care about them as a human being. That's a distinct feeling that is kind of hard to describe and hard to replicate, right? It's a deep feeling of kind of your own selfish desires melting away and kind of a reuniting of one person to another, especially when it's a romantic partner. You can go a lot deeper than if it were just a platonic partner, which is why me and Mike always talk about tantra and building deep connection through sex, because it is a strong method to where you can fulfill a spiritual need that was separated from us at birth, essentially from male to female. Next, we have faith, right? Believing in something, right? Whatever your faith is, believing in something that's out there, whether that's within or outside yourself, but something more than that's just here on this earth, and that's more just about us, right? And having that faith really makes your spirit feel alive and gives your spirit a sense of purpose. Next is going to be service. This goes right into purpose. I'm not going to cover that one much, but these two are hand in hand, right? Serving others is just super fulfilling. It's like studies show people, if you buy something for someone else, it's almost 100% of the time feels better than buying something for yourself. I forgot about the scientific method they use, but they measure like neurochemistry. Always, when you buy something for someone else, more fulfilling than buying for yourself, right? That's our spiritual need being met. And the last one is growth. All right, this one's kind of nuanced, but as our spirits feel the need for growth, like as a man, no matter what's going on in your life, as long as you feel like you are growing, you are going to be some sense of fulfilled. Like a lot of you guys, even at the beginning of the method, you're not really focused on helping other people as much at the forefront, as much as you're focused on first really helping yourself, right? Because, and we logically know that once we do help ourselves, we can help other people, right? And so that feeling of growth is just knowing that, hey, I'm becoming more of a capable, competent human being who has the ability to go out and do great things for others now and fulfill a purpose, whatever that is for me, right? Next, this one's a little cluttery, but we'll get the gist. So we can know all this logically. A lot of you guys are probably shaking your head. Even me, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, good points, Joey. These are great points. But we're going to do this a lot, right? We're going to care about the validation. We're going to seek the comfort. We're going to try to distract ourselves. We're going to indulge, right? Does anyone here say, hey, I want to fulfill these things and I want to be focused on this on a daily basis, right? I know all of you, and everyone would say, no, I don't want to do this. But we do it a lot of the times, right? So we can know this logically and still give into the flesh. Why? Right? And just to reinforce this idea of, the flesh really not being what we want, we'll take someone who experimented with it and went all the way to the end with it. So there's a 1-minute video. Go ahead and play this real quick.
There's never enough money. There's never enough girls. There's never enough power. Like whatever you're like chasing, like those things are never going to fulfill you, right? Like that's kind of like a black hole. You can just keep chucking shit in a black hole. That motherfucker's never going to fill up. You know what I mean? Well, that's the same thing with you. Like if your goal is to like achieve these hedonistic things, there's never going to be enough. And like, and I got to the end of the earth. Like, I know I got to the end of this motherfucking road because like there was like I couldn't have sex with as many girls as wanted to have sex with me. So there's no further you can go, right? Like that's the definition of excess, and I didn't feel like it was enough. I don't think many guys get to the actual end of the road, and you know, and I would see this with other celebrities too. Like these guys that like had all these girls lined up, whatever, and they were still chasing. They were still like, you know, more.
Yep.
And I saw it with the money too. Like guys, you know, you look at these guys, these fucking guys that got billions of dollars. Like you can't spend this money. Why are you working? Like why are you spending your life trying to accumulate more money that you can't spend?
Yep.
So if you guys don't know, it's it's an extremely powerful clip. This happened last time I tried to play this too. I'm just gonna exit out and go back in. Inside look to our Canva. All right. So if you guys don't know, that is Dan Bilzerian. Probably reached the end of hedonistic pleasure more than anyone else. Had access to higher quality women than anyone I honestly know of. And had the money, had the parties, just all the validation, all of these things he had. Like probably more than anyone else I know at a certain point, right? And so what's so awesome about this is a lot of times we can maybe lie to ourselves and be like, oh yeah, even though like, you know, the girls I'm getting right now, you know, don't fulfill me. If I had the hotter ones, if I had the 10s, if I had them all, then I'd be fulfilled. Or if I had more money, right? Because we don't know because we haven't been there. But when you take someone else like this who has been there, right, and been there a lot, we can take his wisdom and let him do that for us to where we know that it is a black hole. It's a black hole, guys, right? There's no end.
And the thing is, like, even when we see this, a lot of times we'll still have that material desire peeping in our head and say, oh, like, but I feel like I'll be happy when I get that.
Right.
I genuinely feel like that, right? When we're off, even me, like when I'm off my purpose, or I'm giving it more into the materialistic side of things in my head, I allow my head to go into that spiral. It's like I genuinely feel like, oh, I need more. Even though I have a wife who's like the perfect woman for me, I need more woman. I need more. Oh, I need more. I need more of this. I need more validation, right? And so even though I logically see this from the guys who got to the end of the road, it's still that feeling is going to be there.
Right.
Right. And so, and Joe will probably go into how we stick.
So
how we stick to it.
Great point, and that's what this is when he lies, this is talking about the devil, right? When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar, the father of lies, right? And this isn't lies in the Bible, right? Or in the media or in our culture. This is lies within you, right? That the flesh, and this is my personal belief, is that the flesh and the ego is of the devil, in my opinion, right? I feel like those things are of the devil, and those things are part of us here in this world, right? And or whether you believe that, you know, originally it was created by you know, God the Father. Our flesh was created by God the Father, and then it got corrupted. Whatever you believe, we are now corrupted. Our flesh and our egos are corrupted, right? And so he has that sense of us. There's a part of us within us is the devil lives, right? And this is what you hear, which is that whenever you're trying to do these things, you will always hear the devil describing about these things is that this won't affect you that bad, right? You deserve it. Everyone else is doing it. That's a huge one, right? The cultural norms. This will make you happy, right? And it's not a voice you can hear, obviously, guys. It's a feeling, right? It's a feeling of an energetic draw towards these things that seems so real, right? Especially when you're in like a low vibrational state, right? You have something to say, Mike?
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Great, yeah.
Okay, and so what do these attacks actually look like, right? Because our goal is to actually be able to counter these things and see them for what they are so we can actually counter them. So there's multiple things, right? I separated into the external and the internal world, right? So, of course, the devil is in the external world with negative influences, right? This includes your friends. This includes people in your work environment. This includes anyone you come across at all, right? A lot of these people, I know a lot of you guys that struggle with this, is people in your path who you're on a certain path leading more towards the spiritual fulfillment, but your friends are trying to bring you down, right? Bring you down to their level and tell you, oh, it's okay, it's not normal. Oh, you'll hear that a lot. Like, why are you like this? Everyone else does this. Everyone else goes out, right? And it could be easy, especially when things like that are said, for you to then reflect on yourself and be like, wait, am I weird? Am I not normal for doing this? If everyone else is doing it, should I just be like them? Right? And so that's a very strong way you can be attacked. Guys, social media nowadays, as you know, a lot of you guys have it deleted, which I'm happy about. Brutal, right? Especially if you do not have a filter or you do not not interested in the lust and the greed and all of it. I mean, all the 7 deadly sins live within social media heavily. I mean, lust is probably the biggest one, but it's like how are we supposed to fight lust if every 5 seconds our brain is consuming a half-naked woman, and not just any half-naked woman, some of the hottest half-naked women in the world, right? Like how that battle is such a strong battle. And so we need to make sure that this is clean, right? And be aware of it. Delete it if you can. If you don't have aren't posting on there, I always recommend deleting it unless you have extreme self-control. But then hit not interested in all the things you don't need to hear, right? Make sure that if you have it, your feed is filled with things that are of the spirit instead of the flesh. And then last is cultural norms, which I covered slightly here. It's just that culture is extremely driven by this, especially in 2026, right? And America. I know some of you guys don't live in America, but you guys can still agree with this, is that this is what the norm is nowadays, right? This is what like the average individual looks like. And you guys in here, you're not the average individuals, right? But this is like 90% of people are driven by these things hard, and they're not even aware of it, right? They're not even aware of it. And so it's hard when that's what the cultural norms are to separate yourself. And everyone's doing a great job by being here because I'm going to explain the next one. You have to be in an environment that isn't of that, right? Next is internal world. This is where the real battle happens, is the temptation, right? All these things, all these lies, you deserve this, everyone else is doing it, right? The justification, trying to convince yourself that it's fine. Oh, I did a 14-day SR streak. One release won't send me back to baseline. It'll be fine, right? Or just pulling it up will be fine. I won't actually lead to ejaculation, right? A lot of justification because we always have the choice before we give into it, right? And last one is going to be self-doubt, right? Telling yourself that you are incapable, because all of you guys, I mean, if you look at me 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the human being I was then and the human being I am, and a lot of you guys share the same journey now, right? For me to self-doubt my capabilities to do anything in this world would just be like idiotic, because as long as you put your mind to it, you can grow. So just don't let the devil give you self-doubt. You are capable. You are capable. Just remind yourself, like, just filter out the negative thoughts that don't serve you guys. Just get rid of them immediately. Right? Like, have that filter, and this is part of meditation, is once you meditate, you're able to see the thoughts more and more and more. And once you see these thoughts, if you see a negative one, hey, does this thought serve me or not? If it doesn't, bye-bye, right? Like, it's just not part of your purpose. And so have a very clean internal world, and you'll be able to fight this battle a lot better. Now, how to actually counter them, right? External world, strong community. You guys are doing great in this. I just talked with Flores in the last one. He's thinking about joining multiple different communities right now that are in service of his purpose. One being martial arts, right? We're always going to, this is the more thing you talk about with your one-on-one coach, but we're always going to push you guys to do some form of martial art. Join a community there. You guys are doing great by being here. As you guys can already see the benefits. Everyone in here knows about them. Then brotherhood, right? Choose your friends and your circle wisely, extremely wisely. I have no space for anyone trying to bring me down. Of course, I'm always people who are maybe not fully on the path. I'm there to help them find the path. But if I realize that, hey, they're not coming with me on the path and they're bringing me down, just no room for it, right? My purpose is just too front and center for that to have any capability to drag me down, right? Next is going to be clean environment, including digital. This is mostly digital environment, right? Clean your digital environment, guys. I discussed that here, so I won't go deeper in that, but that's the external world. Next, internal world. Know the lies, right? Like Mike said, it seems like you feel like it's correct. You feel like it's right to do these things when you feel the fleshly desires. And they're primal, guys. We've evolved this way. And so it's not normal to go against them. It's not like natural for us. We have to tangibly, logically go against what we feel like doing to reach that higher fulfillment, right? Next is going to be control dopamine. If you are in a dopamine loop state, you are subject to the lies, right? If you have been masturbating, eating like shit, just on a downward spiral, and this is why people say, oh, I'll be great, and then I'll fall off, and it feels like I can't do anything disciplined, is because if your dopamine is low and you've been indulging in those things, you have no discipline to fight back. You have no motivation to fight back until you start to build it up again. And so just don't let yourself go too far down in a dopamine loop. If you do it for a day, it's fine. You guys know the bounce back method. Next day, wake up, back on track. Cold shower, you're good to go. All right. Last one is higher purpose. This one's big, guys. If you are tempted, say you masturbate, right? You ejaculate, you lose your streak. The reason that happened is because you didn't have something on the other side of that, right? That was more important to you than the pleasure in that moment, right? If you're thinking about in that moment releasing and all that sexual energy is high, right? and you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do it. What you told yourself right there is that this release in this moment is more important to me than the benefits of being on a streak right now, right? But if your mother was about to die, right, or your family was about to die, or you knew that your hundreds of lives were dependent on you not doing that, there's no chance you would do it, right? Because your purpose on the other side of it is so much stronger than the fleshly desire, right? And so you need to reinforce just what you are here to do, what your goal is. And even if it's not something like me and Mike are doing right now, I am becoming this type of man so other people, so my mom can stop working one day, so I can be a good example for my siblings. I know, Charlie, that's a big one for you, right? Cam, so other people can see the power of the Holy Spirit through me, right? Whatever it may be, that needs to be at your forefront mind so that you can battle those things. Make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let me say something real quick, Joe.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So as you guys know, this is gone over this a couple times. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we're talking about higher purpose and rejecting the material and all that. But what are we doing? A lot of things on the method is we're learning how to navigate the material world too. We're trying to improve our material appearance.
Wait, Mike.
Well.
Mike, I'm gonna get to this. I'll let you speak on this. That's the last slide.
I was like, okay.
Okay, I'll let you speak on it when we get there. Here, I think that's right here. That's right here. So I'll cover it quickly,
Sure.
which is that we, despite all these
I can't see. We can't see your screen.
Can you see this?
You guys see my screen, all right?
Yeah, we do.
Now do you see Joe's?
Yeah, I can see Joe's.
Okay.
All right.
I'll give an intro to this unless you go to yours because I couldn't see your screen either.
No, that's good. This is what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So the part of the thing is that, like, in this material world, people can know this and say, hey, I want to rid myself of the flesh, but then be in the material world, their ability to navigate it and an ability to be abundant in it is so garbage because they think they need to renounce it all. You do not have to renounce woman. You do not have to renounce financial success, right? You do not have to renounce success in any endeavor. In fact, you should go for it, right? What we should be going for, though, is not success for the sake of validation, right? Or success with women for the sake of a lot of casual success. We should be going for the success so we have the ability to get the things, right? We should be trying to become the type of person who's capable of making money, because what making money really is your ability to provide value to the world at the end of the day, unless you're like a scammer or whatever it may be. But we should be trying to become a type of person who can excel in the material world, because a person who can excel in the material world inevitably has strong discipline, has strong communication skills, has confidence, right? And there's exceptions to the rules, of course. There's dirtbags who are successful, but in your success, you should be focused on having abundance, right? Because if you don't have abundance, you have insecurity. If you can't get women, right, you're inevitably going to feel insecure about it. No matter how much you want to tell yourself, oh, I don't care about women. Oh, it's fine. Like, I'm on my spiritual path. No, you should know, hey, if I wanted to right now, right, not be celibate and be able to, go on a date and make a woman attracted to me, I could do that. Because from that point, from that place of abundance, you have no insecurity. And from no insecurity, your spirit is able to actually do what it needs to do. Because if you have insecurity, your spirit will feel tied to the flesh, no matter how much you fight it, right? No matter if I felt like, hey, I couldn't get the woman I wanted, I would feel insecure, and that would make me feel the need for validation. Make sense? Go ahead.
All that takes up mental space away from your purpose.
Bingo.
Guys, if you don't what I just shared, right? If you don't know, up here say is your purpose, self-actualization, you doing and accomplishing your purpose, right? If you don't know where your next meal is coming from, you think you're going to be thinking about your purpose and how you can help your higher spiritual calling when you're starving to death.
Yeah.
You're not going to think about that.
Wait, Mike,
right?
I can't see your screen.
You can't? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
I'm going to stop my share so I can see you. Okay, there we go. Go ahead.
And it goes up, right? These are the baseline needs, right? Air, food, water, shelter, sleep, even reproduction is there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, and for what me and Joe are saying is that you don't necessarily need to be actually having sex for this insecurity and this mental space to not be occupied by that, by just being able to get a girl if you could, right? I'm married, so for me that's checked off. Joe, he's celibate right now, but he knows that there's women right now he could probably hit up and go on a date with tomorrow if he wanted to, right? So he doesn't have to think about that. And then it goes up the list, guys. And as this is what the method does, right? It's going to create connections, like Joe just said, brotherhood, community, self-respect, right? Now you actually have 10 out of 10 confidence. You respect yourself. Others in your community respect you. Right? You have all these bases covered, and now your purpose will not only not only can you best accomplish it because you don't have to worry about these things, but it will better be revealed to you. I had a lot of guys who on this journey, as they do the method, it takes time, but a lot of times they actually discover what their purpose is. I've had guys from the beginning just like, oh, I just have 2 out of 10 confidence. I need help. And by the end, they're like, I discovered my purpose. Even Eric, right? He's probably doing his purpose right now, aren't you, Eric? All right. So Eric wants to be a vegan chef. So he discovered that while he was doing the method. Right, while he got 10 out of 10 confidence and he got all these things covered, he discovered it. So even if you guys don't want to know your specific purpose right now, your purpose should always be becoming the best version of yourself. Sure. On that journey, your individual purpose will be revealed to you.
For sure. Great point, Mike. Great point. Okay. Last but not least, right? This is kind of my message to you guys at the end, right? Along this path of striving for both internal and external success, be aware of the lies of the flesh, become extremely capable in this material world so that you may help others. And when you fail, because we all do, learn from it so that you may grow, so that you may come back stronger and be more aware of the ways the devil attacks, right? So I'm going to say that one more time. Along this path of striving for both internal and external success, be aware of the lies of the flesh, become extremely capable in this material world so that you may help others, and when you fail, learn from it so that you may come back stronger and more aware. Right? And so that's the message to you guys here. And really, I want you guys, when you're thinking of like your success of the method and how you'll eventually be able to get the woman of your dreams, have the success, have the confidence of your dreams. Try to reframe it instead of thinking, hey, I get that stuff and it's going to be so great for me. Try to think of it, I will be able to carry out God's will better once I get that stuff, right? Always try to reframe your desires into spiritual desires, which is being able to help others, right? And if you can say, hey, I want this confidence so that I may retire my mom, so that I may spread my movement, right? And be that for others. The universe will guide you so much better, and your own internal clarity will be so much better. Okay, guys?
And it'll be so much easier to resist dopamine by far.
So much easier to resist dopamine. So that is the message of the day. And yeah, did you put your wins of the week, Mike?
I put mine, yeah.
You guys, I got any questions, comments, concerns at the moment? As the spring comes, guys, the energy in the air is so good. It's like it's on an upward trend. Go with it. Make sure you're getting outside, right? Make sure you're following everything we said on this one. And let's have a week, guys.
All right, boys.
Much love. All right. I'll see you guys. Cam, I'll see you later. See the rest of you guys next week.
Hey, boys.
See ya. Boom! What a great group call, guys. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, I felt like that message was extremely important to get out to my guys, and I figured, it's extremely important to get out to you guys as well. We have those every single Sunday. Time changes, but I send a poll in there to see what time it'll happen. But yeah, I pretty much said what I need to say. If you guys want to be part of this brotherhood and, of course, be one-on-one locked in with me as your brother in service of achieving your highest self, go ahead, book a call. I will put it in the link. It is also in the description. It's also in the bio. Please only book if you're actually committed to becoming the best version of yourself. But other than that, love you guys. Until next time, peace.